This is the, good morning and welcome to the Franklin County Board of Commissioners meeting for general session for Tuesday, June 9th, 2020. As a reminder, this is a public meeting and is being recorded. So we kindly ask that you maintain the same level of decorum as if we were meeting in person. Finally, for those of you that are calling in, please remember to mute your phone. You can mute your line by pressing *6. Appreciate that. We have a few guests this morning that'll be on the call, Zoom call with us. Good morning, Commissioner Boyce. So when the time comes, we will be announcing them as well. I'm sorry. From the Franklin County Department of Aging, we have folks that are here this morning to recognize World Elder Abuse Day. It's coming up on June 15th. D'Amica Withers and Sally Smith work closely with our Adult Protective Services program. Please share with us some of the steps that Franklin County takes to protect our aging residents from abuse. Sally and D'Amica. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Thank you, commissioners. Thank you for providing a resolution today and recognizing World Elder Abuse. At Franklin County Office on Aging, our Adult Protective Services staff are still servicing and investigating allegations of abuse, neglect, and exploitation for our older adults of Franklin County. They're receiving referrals from the community and medical professionals and attending and going out and doing home visits, practicing safety precautions, of course, now in our COVID world, and making sure that our older adults are staying safe. As we know, older adults are affected by social isolation, and we are making sure that we are keeping eyes on our older adults for our Franklin County community.
I just want to add to that I really appreciate the support that we've gotten from the county commissioners. My staff are out there daily doing those home visits, and it's very important that we continue to reach out to those isolated seniors in particular. So thank you.
Thank you.
I think this is really important. A lot of our senior population are isolated, and you know, this is a tough time with the pandemic. There's additional isolation that people are feeling. And what you do every day is so very important. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Guys, thank you for being with us this morning. Thank you for the work that you do on behalf of our seniors. It's obviously all the work that your agency does on behalf of the seniors of Franklin County is important work, but certainly keeping them safe from folks that would prey upon them is some of the most important that you do. And so we appreciate everything that your agency does in this regard. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner Grady.
Okay. All right. So we appreciate you guys being with us this morning. Thanks for everything. And we're going to go ahead and now get started with our meeting. So we're going to begin this morning with Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Brown.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America,
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice.
Thank you, Commissioner. All right. Need an approval of the minutes of the November 5th, 2019 general session. That threw me off there for a second. I apologize for that. Going all the way back to November for that. The June 4th, 2020 briefing session, and the May 30th, June 1, June 2, June 3, and June 5 administrative briefing.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Minutes have been approved. Thank you.
All right, to the engineer.
Resolution number 368-20, establishing, altering, and widening of the Clark State Road at Long Streth Park Place Drainage Improvement Project, Jefferson Township, Franklin County, Ohio, declared necessary.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. On behalf of Engineer Robertson, my name is Fritz Crozier, Chief Deputy of Engineering. Commissioners, this first resolution is the first in a series of two to declare necessary the Clark State Road at Longstreth Park Place Drainage Improvement Project. This project, located in northeast Franklin County, is a collaborative project between the Engineer's Office and Jefferson Township and will allow us to initiate design. Pending any questions, I would ask for your approval.
If there are no questions, I'll move for approval of 368-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 368-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 369-20, resolution awarding contract and approving contract bond to Cocosine Construction Company Incorporated for the 2020 Franklin County Resurfacing Program in the amount of $2,345,695.11.
Commissioners, this next resolution seeks to award the contract and approve the contract bond to Cocosine Construction Company, Inc. for the Franklin County's annual resurfacing program. This year's program includes 7 roadways covering 11 miles. Engineer Robertson had originally planned to resurface 9 roads covering 16 miles, however, was forced to scale back due to forecasted financial impacts from the coronavirus pandemic. Cocosine Construction was selected via the competitive bid process with a bid opening on May 19th, 2020. Pending any questions, I'd ask for your approval.
I'll move for approval of 369-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 369-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 370-20, 2 LMN Incorporated consulting engineers appointed to assist the Franklin County engineer in providing engineering services for the Norton Road, County Road number 3, and Crop Road, Grove City Road, County Road number 135 Improvement Project, Pleasant Township, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $305,583.01.
Commissioners, our next resolution, as noted, seeks approval of a design contract with 2LMN Inc., consulting engineers to assist the Franklin County engineer in providing engineering services for the Norton Road at Crop Road and Grove City Road Improvement Project. This is a collaborative project with ODOT in which we'll utilize federal safety money to design and construct a single-lane modern roundabout. 2LMN was chosen via the qualifications-based selection process, and they are a DBE, SBE, MBE, and EDGE local engineering firm. Pending any questions, I'd ask for your approval.
I'll move for approval of 370-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 370-20 has been adopted.
Drainage.
Resolution number 371-20, resolution adopting compliance schedules for Franklin County related to a consent decree with the State of Ohio Environmental Protection Agency and to authorize reporting by the drainage engineer to the state related to the Franklin County Municipal Separate Storm Sewer Program.
Commissioners, this resolution is a collaboration amongst many agencies, including Franklin Soil and Water Conservation District, the Franklin County Sanitary Engineer, Franklin County Public Health, the Prosecutor's Office, the Drainage Engineer, as well as the County Engineer. In response to a notice of intent to sue, the aforementioned agencies worked with the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency and performed a self-audit. This resolution details a schedule for compliance and authorizes the county drainage engineer to provide MS4 related reporting to OEPA. Pending any questions, I would ask for your approval.
If there are no questions, I'll move for passage of 371-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 371-20 has been adopted.
Thank you all. Enjoy this beautiful Tuesday.
Thank
too,
you.
Fritz. You know, Fritz, it's been good to see you.
Good
Good
to
to
see
see
you
you.
too, Commissioner.
Appreciate the outdoors, nice backyard there. I do sort of miss, the props and the deer head and everything. So tell the engineer we miss him.
I will relay that message. Thank you.
Thanks, Fritz. All right, so let's move on. We are on to the sheriff now.
Resolution number 372-20, resolution authorizing appropriation adjustments for the addition of 25 full-time positions to support the Security Operations Division and the retro pay for the collective bargaining agreement contract.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dave Masterson, representing Sheriff Dallas Baldwin. This resolution, as mentioned, approves 5 additional deputies to be utilized in domestic relations courtrooms, along with common pleas court. And it will also approve 20 additional facility security office positions that will allow or have allowed an additional x-ray machine to be utilized to strengthen security at Memorial Hall, and will eventually allow 2 additional check-in stations with x-ray capabilities to be opened, one at the pavilion and one at common pleas court. And finally, the resolution also authorizes the supplemental appropriations needed for retroactivity pay adjustments from a collective bargaining agreement that was settled in December and runs from January 2019 through December 2021. Pending any questions, I ask approval of this resolution.
Any questions from my colleagues? Otherwise, I'll move for approval of 372-20.
Commissioner Boyce, you're muted.
Sorry. Second.
Thank you. Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 372-20 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Dave. The Office on Aging.
Resolution number 373-20, resolution authorizing a COVID-19 response grant to Charitable Pharmacy of Central Ohio to provide prescription assistance to seniors in Franklin County in the amount of $99,200.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Amy Funk, Assistant Director of Administration, and with me this morning is our new Director, Orville Johns. This resolution authorizes a COVID-19 response grant agreement with Charitable Pharmacy of Central Ohio. This grant will allow Charitable Pharmacy to continue supporting 60 and 90-day supply of medications instead of the normal 30-day regimen. In addition, the grant will also allow them to continue providing curbside delivery service and medication counseling over the phone. This project will cover the expenses of additional staffing at Charitable Pharmacy, as well as the increased cost of purchasing prescription medications during this crisis. This project will be in effect until December 31st of 2020. At this time, I'd like to welcome our guest speaker, Jennifer Seifert, the Executive Director at Charitable Pharmacy. She'll share a little bit about their programs and what important steps they're taking to help older adults during the pandemic. Jenny?
Again, I'm Jennifer Seifert, pharmacist and executive director of the Charitable Pharmacy of Central Ohio. Good morning, Commissioners O'Grady, Boyce, and Brown. These are certainly unprecedented times with public health emergencies in 2 areas, infectious disease and racism. And I'd first like to thank you, Commissioners, for your presence, your leadership, and as obvious in your activities, your dedication to combating these public health emergencies. The Charitable Pharmacy of Central Ohio joins you and our community in the fight against both COVID-19 and racism. And today I come before you in support of Resolution 0373-20 for emergency funding for the care of older adults in our community. More than half of the patients of the Charitable Pharmacy are 60 years and older and take an average of 8 to 10 medications. And when President Drake of The Ohio State University announced at the beginning of March that the students would not be returning to campus from spring break due to the coronavirus, I knew that if students needed to stay home to stay safe, then certainly, most certainly, our older adult neighbors needed to stay home too. So we quickly implemented several very significant changes to our operations. Instead of supplying that 1 month and meeting face-to-face with our patients, we supply at least 2 months of medication to patients. We have curbside pickup, so no one comes into our building for our patient safety and ours, and we mail a significant number of our prescriptions. We also have a volunteer who makes some deliveries. The value of medications dispensed during the first 4 weeks of our response increased 330% this year over last. We're on the phones all day on all of our available phone lines talking with patients who now answer their phones because I think they enjoy that kind of human contact. And we also did lose an army of volunteers who sorted our donated inventory. And these changes did come at a significant expense. We hired a person to oversee the curbside pickup because having someone in the parking lot to greet up to 70 cars as they pull into our lot is essential. We hired a couple of entry-level people to help with the phones and filling prescriptions. And in addition, our expenditure on medications increased substantially. We continue to see new patients every day, and our partners have allowed us to adapt telephonic qualification of new patients. Because we're caring for our most medically complex older neighbors who need to stay protected from the virus, we are very carefully developing our recovery plan. There's still much to learn about prevention and treatment of the disease, but please know we'll continue to put our patients' health first, and we'll work to keep them safe and in their homes with their critically needed medications. We thank you for your time and support of our older neighbors. And just one other thing, I know that Commissioner Brown had asked at a recent meeting about the drug supply chain. So just a couple comments about that. In the face of COVID-19, some risks have emerged in our nation, namely that 60 to 80% of our prescription medication relies on factories or ingredients that are outside the US, with the majority from China, India, and Europe. And at this point, we have not seen a large impact, but with the reliance on that global supply chain, as it were, if something affects our global relationships or the capacity of other nations, our access to prescription medications is at risk. For us at a local level, I will say we have not seen a major impact. There have been 2 drug recalls, which have had us scramble for alternatives. These recalls are because of a contaminant in the manufacturing process. And include a blood pressure medication and an acid reducer for heartburn, but we have been able to find alternatives for both. So I think what we're seeing, as we're seeing in so many areas, is a bit of a microscope on the potential issue, but we haven't seen a large issue yet. But thank you for that question, Commissioner Brown.
Jennifer, thank you. And also thank you for always being so adaptable to the community's needs. The Charitable Pharmacy has always adapted to what the community needs, and I appreciate it very much. And your work has been amazingly helpful to those who need that pharmacy of last resort. And this is the time, if ever there was a time for the Charitable Pharmacy to be needed, this is it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I only add that the Charitable Pharmacies is one of my favorite organizations. And when you look at healthcare cost trends, pharmaceuticals are one of the most challenging areas, particularly for our most vulnerable citizens, seniors, and those who are on fixed incomes and various challenges. And so thank you for what you do. It's really incredible work. And this is one of my favorite resolutions to vote on every year.
Jennifer, thank you for all the great work. Commissioner Boyce has a history of telling everybody they're his favorite, so just so you know.
Hey, I never said that about nonprofits. That was about agencies. That was agency.
That's true. That's true. You must be special. He usually just says that about all of our agencies. So you must be special. So that's true.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for all the work you guys are doing. We appreciate it, especially during this time. So thanks for it.
Any other questions? If not, I'll move for approval of 37320.
Second.
Thank you. Moved and seconded. Voting, Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 373-20 has been adopted.
Thank you, commissioners.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Economic development and planning.
Resolution number 374-20, resolution to adjust the boundaries of the City of Columbus and the City of Hilliard, case number ANX-08-20.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jenny Snap, Assistant Director at Economic Development and Planning. We have a number of resolutions to take you through this morning. After I'm done with two annexations and a boundary adjustment and an annexation, Jim and Alex are going to take you through a few very important resolutions that we're very excited to talk about this morning. So this resolution is to consider the boundary adjustment of 0.265 acres from the City of Columbus to the City of Hilliard. This petition was filed by both the City of Columbus and the City of Hilliard to adjust 0.265 acres of public right-of-way of Scioto Darby Road east of Walcott Road. This resolution will adjust the boundaries between the two jurisdictions in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code 709.37. The City of Columbus passed ordinance number 0646-2020 on March 16th, 2020, agreeing to transfer 0.265 plus or minus acres to the City of Hilliard. And the City of Hilliard passed ordinance number 20-05 on March 9th, 2020, accepting the transfer of land from the City of Columbus. Both ordinances were certified by the Franklin County Commissioners for further proceedings. And I want to just mention that property records, just for a little bit of background, property records research conducted as part of the design of Scioto Darby Road and Walcott Road improvements revealed that the corporation line between the City of Hilliard and the City of Columbus did not coincide with the southern right-of-way line along Scioto Darby Road east of Walcott Road. So this legislation was introduced to change those jurisdictional boundary lines between the two cities so that it coincides with the right-of-way lines. The petitioning municipalities have met all statutory requirements outlined in section 709.37 of the Ohio Revised Code, and pending any questions, we request your approval of this resolution.
If there's no questions, I'll move for approval of 37420.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Voting, Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 374-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 375-20, review of petition to annex 2.044 more or less acres from Franklin Township to the City of Columbus, case number ANX-09-20.
This resolution is to consider an expedited type 2 annexation petition of 2.044 acres from Franklin Township to the City of Columbus. The area to be annexed includes property located at 1316 Harrisburg Pike and 1322 Harrisburg Pike. Those parcels and portion of right-of-way are east of Harrisburg Pike, south of Eakin Road, west of Brown Road, and north of Frank Road. Petition was filed by agent and attorney Craig Moncrief of Plank Law Firm. And just to note, Craig is on this call if you have any questions, on behalf of Robert Cook and Thomas Fritz, trustee. 81% of the site's perimeter contiguous with Columbus, and the city passed ordinance number 1108-2020 on May 18th, 2020, indicating the services that will be provided once the annexation is approved in a statement regarding incompatible land uses and the zoning buffer. Petition meets all the statutory requirements outlined in section 709.021 of the Ohio Revised Code, and pending any questions, we request your approval.
If
Ms.
there are
Monk-
no,
I was just going to ask if Mr. Moncrief had anything you wanted to add.
No, that was great. Thank you.
any questions? If not, I'll move for approval of 37520.
Commissioner Boyd.
Yeah, I had it on mute. Second.
Thank you, sir. Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 375-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 376-20, resolution authorizing an economic development agreement with Rev 1 Ventures to administer part of the Franklin County COVID-19 Small Business Response and Recovery Fund in the amount of $1,460,000.
Morning, Commissioners. Alex Bear, Assistant Director, Economic Development Planning. This is the first of 3 of our additional programming for small business during this COVID-19 pandemic. The first program today is a fund administration contract with Rev 1 to do the back office work for our joint grant, small business grant program that we're initiating with the City of Columbus. This will be 2 different parts. One is recovery grants for businesses, small businesses, 25 employees and fewer, that ownership is low to moderate income, where they've seen 25% or more revenue loss due to the COVID pandemic. An additional amount of grant funds will be available for businesses throughout Franklin County for PPE and COVID-19 related improvements to their businesses to get ready for this new normal. And that program is a 1-to-1 matching grant where if the company spends up to $5,000, the grant will match up to $5,000. And this is truly a joint program with the City of Columbus, and we'll be sharing in a subcommittee that's reviewing the grants, and that's going to be going on a rolling basis starting today, June 9th at 5 p.m. Businesses will be able to both go to our website, development.franklincountyohio.gov, and follow the links to the joint page, or also go through the City of Columbus's development page. Both will have the exact same information. It's just that there's some nuances to the programming, but one online submission is all that's needed, and then addresses and those kind of things will be figured out on the back end. But the really important thing is that Rev 1 has stepped up for us as a partner. They've been a partner for many years, but in terms of expanding their portfolio, helping on this small business front, and going through from just being tech oriented to small business oriented. And so we really appreciate their partnership on this, and we ask for your approval.
Any questions? This is fantastic, and I'm glad we're able to do this for our small businesses. I am thrilled we're able to do this. I'll move for passage of 37620.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 376-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 377-20, resolution authorizing an economic development agreement with the Ohio Small Business Development Center at Columbus State Community College to support the Kiva Columbus Loan Program in the amount of $48,000.
Thank you, Commissioners. Alex Barris again. So the Kiva program is something we're really proud to be able to partner with again. This is a program that allows for 2 things that we're missing in some of our other business loan and technical assistance programming. One, it allows for loans that are at the very smallest amount, true micro lending, $10,000 and less, with average loans being around $2,500 to $3,000. Second of all, it allows for community participation, meaning that our community members, our residents in Franklin County can share in both applying for loans, but also putting money forward to lend to businesses. And so this is something that comes up a lot when we talk about how do we support our small businesses and your local neighborhood business or local neighborhood startup. Here's a way to do it safely in the time of COVID through digital means, but also be able to, put your money into a business, just like in the kind of the old days of these things. And so this is a partnership with Columbus State Small Business Development Center, who you heard from on Thursday. We're very excited about this. Columbus State Small Business Development Center is also a technical assistance provider for our small businesses during all the times, but especially during this COVID-19. And so they have a great network of businesses that they'll be able to either recommend to our other programming that we're talking about today, but also have this new tool and resource to use with Kiva Lending. And so really excited about partnering with Kiva and moving forward. And so ask for your approval of this resolution.
If there are no questions, I'll move for passage of 37720.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yeah, absolutely.
Resolution number 377-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 378-20, resolution entering into a funding agreement amendment, with the Economic and Community Development Institute to provide a micro enterprise loan program to county businesses utilizing federal stimulus community development block grant CARES funding in the amount of $500,000.
So Commissioners, this is our second request of additional capitalization to the Economic and Community Development Institute, ECDI for short, for their small business lending program. On March 24th, you approved $500,000 of funding that went to supplement our usual ongoing capital revolving loan fund. And we've seen great demand. ECI has had over $2 million of loans closed in just during what we consider the COVID period. They have an additional $2 pipeline, and it's growing rapidly. What our dollars do is that they leverage other dollars, SBA dollars, bank dollars, other things that are all put into fund and lend out by ECI. What's really important about this amendment is that it's combining an additional $250,000 to make this a $750,000 ultimate capitalization, with a generous donation from JP Morgan Chase, who you heard from on Thursday. They saw what the commissioners had done in terms of an early action step immediately after the some of the pandemic orders by Governor DeWine to immediately apply small business lending, because we knew there was going to be tightening of credit. They recognized that and have just simply worked with us to wait to recapitalize again and match our additional $500,000 with $250,000. And so this is something that we encourage our business community. I think Commissioner Brown, you said it best. We welcome as many private partners as possible in this, because this is will be ongoing. We know credit will be tight for a long time. And so this is another great resolution. It's the last of the three buckets that we're presenting today, for a total of $2.25 million that we're asking of additional stimulus for our small business community in Franklin County. So with that, ask for your approval.
I want to thank you and the rest of the team in economic development and planning, as well as Eric Janis, our deputy county administrator, over economic development and planning. These are programs that really are going to make an impact in the community and for our residents who are struggling right now. And this is creative work that's really going to see, we're going to see a difference, and our families are going to see a difference because of the creativity that you've put into place. I appreciate the hard work that you put into putting these programs together. This is not easy, and I know that working with our partners in this arena, you know, these small businesses don't have access to a lot of resources, and this is where it matters. To get these businesses up and running again is tough, and for us to be able to have that role that we do play, this is really amazingly creative, and thank you for that.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Yep. Nice work, guys.
Thank you.
Guys, thanks for all your hard work on this. As I said the other day on Thursday, you know, this is the third big win since we started, you know, since COVID-19 started, that you guys have produced the rest of Franklin County, and we appreciate all the hard work and extra effort that you guys are putting in right now as a team. It's important for the residents of the county and the folks, the businesses, you know, the folks, you know, you guys have been producing for our businesses, for our residents, for folks who need to keep their thanks for all that. Here's all of our accolades from myself and from Marilyn and from Kevin. Great stuff. We appreciate it. Get back to work. Do it again.
Thank
Fair
you.
enough.
I will move for passage of 37820.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 378-20 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. All right. Let's now move to sanitary engineer.
Resolution number 379-20, resolution authorizing a novation agreement and first contract modification with Groundworks Ohio, LLC, formerly known as Ohio Basement Authority, for sanitary sewer connections of single-family residences in the Moneyback and Brown Road East areas, Round 1. And Ryan, I apologize, I muted your line a few moments ago, sir.
There we go. Good morning, Commissioners. Ryan Stowe with Sanitary Engineering. Sanitary Engineers requesting approval of a novation agreement and first contract modification with the Ohio Basement Authority for the sanitary sewer connections of single-family residences in the Moneyback and Brown Road East areas. On September 19th of last year, the Franklin County was notified by Ohio Basement Authority that they had been acquired by Groundworks Ohio, LLC. Per the novation agreement, Groundworks Ohio will operate and provide Franklin County with continued services for the project at the original rates bid by Ohio Basement Authority. In addition, the sanitary engineer wishes to execute a contract modification with Groundworks Ohio to extend the duration of the contract at no additional cost to address unforeseen delays at the start of the project and the COVID-19 pandemic. Sanitary engineers proposing that the duration of the contract be open, and once all contract terms are completed, the project is complete. At this point, the project is anticipated to be finished by the end of the summer. Pending any questions or comments, I request the passage of this resolution.
If there are no further comments or questions, I'll move for passage of 37920.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 379-20 has been adopted.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Community partnerships.
Resolution number 380-20, resolution authorizing a COVID-19 response grant to Franklin County Public Health to address health disparities in advanced adoption of the Health and Equity in All Policies policy in the amount of $128,500.
Good morning, Commissioners. Zach Telerik with the Office of Management and Budget. This resolution would authorize a COVID-19 response grant to Franklin County Public Health to address the health disparities that have arisen from the impact of racism as a public health crisis and advance adoption of the Health and Equity in All Policies by supporting creation of an Associate Director of Equity and Inclusion. This position will provide strategic oversight and lead efforts in creating community partnerships, collaborations, and alliances that support public health's equity-based initiatives and priorities. A few of the proposed duties for the position to be added to public health would include advancing the external adoption of the Health and Equity in All Policies policy, supporting engagement with communities of color, refugees, and new Americans, representing and supporting public health staff on external committees related to equity and social determinants of health, including poverty, education, criminal justice, food and housing, and integrating strategic goals of public health's Community Health Improvement Plan and the health objectives contained with the Franklin County Rise Together Blueprint for Reducing Poverty. This agreement is for 1 year and includes the option to extend for 2 additional one-year periods. Pending any questions, I would ask for your approval of this resolution.
I'll move, unless there's any comments. I thought I heard some.
No, that was me. Go ahead.
I'll move for passage of 380-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 380-20 has been adopted.
Now to, oh, shoot, I forgot where we were.
Justice Policy and Programs, Commissioner.
Justice Policy and Programs, I apologize. How are you, Michael? You're right in front of me. I should have known where we were.
Resolution number 381-20, resolution authorizing a contract with Center for Employment Opportunities for the provision of job readiness training, transitional employment, job coaching and placement, and retention services in the amount of $45,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Michael Daniels, Director of the Office of Justice Policy and Programs. As stated in the title, the Center for Employment Opportunities, or CEO, they're an organization that we're very familiar with. Commissioner Brown and I have actually visited their headquarters in New York City, and they are specialists in providing job readiness training, temporary transitional employment, job coaching, permanent employment, and retention services for residents with previous criminal justice involvement. They've now opened and have stood up their office here in Columbus, Ohio, and we're happy to enter into this partnership with them to run at least 20 residents through their training program and into full-time jobs. Pending any questions, we'd ask for your approval.
Michael, Director Daniels.
Mr. Administrator.
Yes, I would like to thank you again for bringing forth an innovative partnership. That's the right kind of criminal justice programming that actually works for the residents here in Columbus and Franklin County. Just wanted to let you know this is just one more example of your office offering a hand up to our residents to get them on the right track and steer them away from future contact with the criminal justice system.
Thank you, sir. We very much appreciate those kind words.
It's absolutely true, and CEO has had an exceptional high rate of success in other communities. So we're expecting no less, I'm sure, right, Michael?
That is correct, Commissioner. And we actually were able to put CEO in touch with one of our other best corporate citizen partners, Donato's Pizza. And in fact, the reason we're able to do this contract for the price that we're able to do it for is that Donato's has committed and are running 2 full-time crews of CEO employees through their programs, starting them out with cleaning and doing other things like that, and then moving them into cooking and delivery and managerial positions. And so we really thank our partners at Donato's for their ongoing commitment to every member of the community and to accepting CEO as one of their partners and allowing us to be part of this re-entry to permanent work pipeline. We appreciate it.
Director, I also remembered you connected the Solid Waste Authority of Central Ohio, SWACO, with this organization.
That is correct. They have crews who are working out at the SWACO landfill, particularly picking up those really annoying plastic bags that blow everywhere. They have crews out there every single day cleaning those up and making sure that that the environment stays safe, while again providing an employment opportunity for these folks. And I think it's important to note too that individuals who are working through this program through CEO are not only getting job coaching and placement, but they're actually getting paychecks daily. So they aren't having to wait. They receive financial literacy training on how to spend those dollars. They receive information about how to get banked if they've been previously unbanked. And so this really is a holistic wraparound opportunity, and we're just really proud to be part of it.
Not that I want to put you folks out of work, Michael, but you know, they wouldn't have to go pick up those bags at the landfill if people would stop putting them in the trash like they're supposed to. We shouldn't be putting those in the trash. Should be taking those back to the grocery store. In normal times, we shouldn't be using those, but we should be taking those back to the grocery store. That said, I wanted to go back and give some props to Jane Grody-Abel at Donato's. They're a great corporate citizen. I know there are some folks who want to give them a hard time for their pay scale, things like that. But you know, she does so much in this space and so much for residents of the South Side with the Reeves Center and so many other things. Jane and her family are leaders in this community and the corporate world for the type of work they do for the residents of Franklin County. And so appreciate you bringing them up.
That's absolutely correct, Commissioner. When both Jane Grody-Abel and Tom Kraus and all of the other folks down there are willing to give opportunities to folks when many other corporations are not. They are really on the front end of leading and doing what they say they're going to do in terms of building up this community and giving everyone an opportunity. And we do appreciate very much the Donato's family from the top down in terms of their commitment. They also provide free pizza for all of our Pathways graduations, for instance. Right. I mean, they're involved from the very beginning of these processes. So we're very pleased to work with them.
Great, thank you.
Any other comments, questions? If not, I'll move for passage of 38120.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 381-20 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
We are now on, I'm sorry, we are now on Public Facilities Management.
Resolution number 382-20, resolution authorizing a modification to the contract agreement with George J. Eigel and Company Incorporated to decrease the amount of the contract by $30,366 for site work and underground utilities activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Correction Center for a revised contract amount of $3,033,355.
Good morning, Commissioners. Darla Reardon, Director, Public Facilities Management and Team. George J. Eigel and Company is the provider of site work and underground utilities activities associated with the construction of the new Franklin County Correction Center. This contract modification is required as part of the closeout process and reconciles all costs and allowances associated with the contracted work. As such, approval of this modification decreases the amount of the contract to credit the county for unused funds. Pending any questions, we request your approval of this resolution.
Move for approval of 38220.
Second. Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
yes,
Resolution number 382-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 383-20, resolution authorizing a modification to the contract agreement with Ohio Steel Industries Incorporated to decrease the amount of the contract by $15,471 for the structural steel activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Correction Center for a revised contract amount of $3,299,972.
Ohio Steel Industries, Inc. is the provider of structural steel activities associated with the construction of the new correction center. This contract modification is required as part of the closeout process and also reconciles all costs and allowances associated with the contracted work. As such, approval of this modification decreases the amount of the contract to credit the county for unused funds. Pending any questions, we request your approval of this resolution.
Move approval of 38320.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
yes,
Resolution number 383-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 384-20, resolution authorizing a modification to the contract agreement with Warner Metal Works to perform additional miscellaneous steel activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Correction Center at an increase in the amount of the contract not to exceed $143,277 for a revised contract amount of $4,835,508.
This contract modification is with Warner Metal Works to perform additional miscellaneous steel activities such as refinements to stair risers for the new correction center. Pending any questions, we request your approval of this contract modification.
I'll move for passage of 38420.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
yes,
Resolution number 384-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 385-20, resolution authorizing an amendment to the contract agreement with Moody Nolan Incorporated to provide professional design services associated with the planning, design, and construction of a new Franklin County Forensic Center at an increase in the amount of the contract not to exceed $76,450 for a revised contract amount of $2,750,834.
In September of 2016, Moody Nolan Inc. was awarded a contract agreement to provide professional design services associated with the construction of the new Franklin County Forensic Science Center. Approval of this contract amendment allows for the delivery of additional professional design services, such as planning for specialized imaging equipment and assistance from Battelle in developing operational procedures for the coroner's office. Pending any questions, we respectfully request your approval of this contract amendment.
Move approval of 38520.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
yes,
Resolution number 385-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 386-20, resolution authorizing supplemental appropriations for the Public Safety Center Fund.
This resolution authorizes a supplemental appropriation for the Public Safety Center Fund to support the construction of the Franklin County Correction Center and Forensic Science Center. This request is necessary in order to reconcile appropriations with anticipated expenditures associated with contracts already awarded for the projects based on updated cash flow projections provided by the construction teams. We appreciate OMB's guidance and assistance with this request. Pending any questions, this agency requests your approval of this resolution.
I will move for approval of 38620.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 386-20 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Darla. All right, now to the purchasing department. Hello, Megan.
Good morning.
Resolution number 387-20, resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $740,192.64.
Commissioners, good morning. Megan Perry Balanier, Director of Purchasing. This resolution requests your approval of 41 purchase orders for which the county auditor has pre-certified available funding. This week, 5 out of 9 eligible POs totaling $10,812.89 are being presented for award to 4 women business enterprises and 1 minority business enterprise. This represents 56% of the eligible PO volume and 30% of the eligible PO dollar value. Pending any questions, I request your approval of this resolution.
I'll move for passage of 387-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 387-20 has been adopted.
Thank you.
The Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 388-20, resolution authorizing appropriation adjustments related to the distribution of CARES Act and other federal funding to respond to the public health emergency with respect to COVID-19.
Good morning again, Commissioners. Zach Taleric with the Office of Management and Budget. This resolution authorizes appropriations just over $16 million to distribute funding related to the CARES Act and other potential federal sources that have been utilized and will be utilized to address the public health emergency. Included in this appropriation is $5 million to replenish the contingency for the Surge Hospital that was used under the Commissioner's budget, $4 million to public facilities management for cleaning, masks, and plexiglass. The grants that were discussed earlier today with economic development and planning, the $1.5 million for the Job and Family Services PRC Plus program, as well as $350,000 for Veteran Service Commission for food vouchers, and $270,000 to Office on Aging for their COVID-19 response. Pending any questions, ask for approval of the resolution.
That's just driving Chris Long crazy, whatever that is.
I don't know what that is.
That was me reaching into my I'm waiting to go do this testimony at the State House. So I apologize. I was trying to not push the mute button so I could actually get it this time, and now I can't do anything. So I'm sorry. My apologies.
Commissioner was not going to call you out. I wasn't going to do it, sir.
Do you have any
Chris will.
I was going to, Commissioner. You're absolutely right.
Kevin's
Chris will get
the microwave over there, and Chris is going crazy.
Anybody have any comments or questions on 388-20?
No.
I'll move for passage of 388-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 388-20 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Resolution number 389-20, resolution extending travel restrictions for county employees who are traveling on behalf of the county and to limit in-person meetings in response to COVID-19.
Good morning, Commissioners. Chris Long, Deputy Administrator. On March 17th, 2020, less than 3 months ago, this board adopted Resolution 199-20, instituting travel restrictions for county employees traveling on behalf of the county and limiting in-person meetings. This resolution required review of these restrictions and guidance on or after June 1st. Given the ongoing pandemic, this resolution recommends extending and would extend the county travel restrictions and meeting guidance and limitations. Just as the original resolution allowed, there is an opportunity for waiver considerations if county travel is required. This resolution and the restrictions included in the resolution would be set to be reviewed on or after September 1st, 2020. Pending any questions, we would recommend approval.
I will move for passage of 389-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 389-20 has been adopted.
All right. So, Clerk Hindenlang, do we have any journalizations this morning?
We do not, Commissioner.
Okay, well, then that concludes our business for June 9th. We will have another meeting on June 16th. We will, I'm sure, talk to most of you on our administrative briefing call tomorrow morning. Mark, Mr. Kovac, do you have any questions this morning of us?
Can I just ask one clarifying question? The coronavirus relief stuff that was approved today and those other things that Zach just listed, that's all coming from federal funds, correct? Not coming out of your general fund?
That's a question for Zach or Ken Wilson.
Kenneth Wilson, County Administrator. It is a combination of general funds and non-general funds, Mark. And we're crediting back, we're reimbursing back to the Coronavirus Relief Fund, which was created as a special revenue account upon the receipt of the $76.3 million from the U.S. Treasury.
So ultimately, that 16 million or whatever will be reimbursed. That's the county's hope, whatever, through these federal funds that you've already been allocated, correct?
Yes. Those funds are being for that 16 million, it's being made whole, and you can look at it as deducting that out of the 76.3 million. Okay, because I'm sure I'm going to get questions from just regular people out there saying, all these government's offices are cutting, where's the county, are they printing money down there or whatever? Yeah, but you're getting federal reimbursement for the bulk of this stuff. We're using the coronavirus, the CARES Act funding. This is a demonstration of the usage of the CARES Act funding of the 16 million. And on the programmatic side, the commissioners have approved $14,534,040 for programmatic expenses. And then the 16 million includes some grants for VSC, some personal PPE for public facilities management, and some other expenses. So that's the difference between the two. Okay. You got grants and materials and services. Okay, that makes sense. That's my only question. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Anything else before we close? All right, everybody have a great day.
Have a wonderful day.
We will talk tomorrow. Bye, Savannah.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.